G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here on Gorge to witness the future of Age of Empires forecasting. I hope you're looking forward to it because we have got a good one for you today. Spawning in on the south side of the map in the color teal, playing as the Chinese, we've got 194, the Great Unicom, who we're just going to be calling Unicorn because an M kind of looks like an R and an N if you write them too close together. So we're going to be calling him the Great Unicorn. And on the north side of the map, in the color purple, playing as the Ottomans, it's Lord Voldemort, aka Demu. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gorge. It is a pleasure to have your company. We've got ourselves a fun game today. We got the Ottomans, and as you will see in the bottom left-hand corner of our screen, our Vizier point is already doing its work, doing its magic. You know what we're about to do? We're about to do some magic ourselves. There it is. It is happening right now. We can see where those scouts are as they begin searching across the map, looking for those additional sheep. We can see that the Great Unicorn, he's gone for a little bit of a route over here towards this east side, whereas over on the top side, we've got Demu being a little bit more safe, not going towards his opponent's side of the map just quite yet, but slowly and steadily, he's bringing more sheep on board. So, how you guys doing? Welcome. I hope you're enjoying it so far. We've got a lot of good stuff in store for you today. So I guess one of the things that we should mention is that there is an Ottoman player in this game, and naturally when you have the Ottomans, they've got access to the Vizier system, which we don't have access to in the normal caster mode because the devs haven't added it, even though we've asked them for more than a year because, well, the Ottomans have been in the game now for more than a year. Well, the good news is if you want to know what the Vizier points are up to, just ask me, and I'll let you know exactly where we're up to. Not only can we track the experience of where Demu is at, but we can also see which Vizier points he's taken, which will guarantee that we have the answer without a shadow of a doubt, as to exactly what he's going to be up to. Now, on top of that, we're going to have a couple of other things that you might notice as well. Picture-in-picture is something that I featured in the last game. Didn't get a whole lot of chances to use it. For anybody wondering what picture-in-picture looks like, it looks like this. So we can track the scout of Demu down in that corner. Not always do we want to be tracking scouts though, so we might look to try and use that for any raids today that might happen, or maybe if we get action happening on different sides of the map, we might be able to use it. But let's talk a little bit about this matchup, because this is a matchup that is quite close to my heart. As you guys will know, I've played the Chinese many a times. I've played the Ottomans many of times. I notoriously went all the way to Conqueror 3 just playing the Ottomans and just going fast Imperial every single game. I'm curious to see whether Demu is going to be looking to bring that fast Imperial out today. That's what I'm going to be looking for, but I suspect probably not. One of the things I've been testing with is Ottoman fast Imperial, but doing it with 2 TCs. I think it's actually a smarter move to do it. The only thing I feel like going for the 2 TCs is that because you're basically delaying your castle age by doing that. You don't delay your Imperial age, you just delay your castle age. So as long as you're not going to die in that little short period of time, which can happen, it's probably a smart move to do that, especially against a civilization like the Chinese, because the Chinese are going to be looking to try and get that early Song dynasty, look to get that early second town center up. I wouldn't be surprised to see both of these civilizations, or both of these players here, looking to play a little bit more greedy, even though we do have an open map, that being the map that is Gorge. It is a very open map towards the center, very easy to attack your opponent. You've got resources right out the front, even though, to be fair, Unicorn has got a really good spawn here for Gorge, because he can very easily wall from this one side down towards here. Like, this is a really good Gorge spawn, having this. I don't know why this tree spawns here. I mean, Demu's probably, he's got a tree over here, but the fact that it's right out the front of the base is very nice, so we'll have to consider that. But it does look like we've got Unicorn about to try and... Jeez, he's got a lot of villagers here looking for this age up. 8 villagers on the Imperial Academy. I think he probably underestimated how long it would take him. Did he only have the 1 on it initially? Maybe that's the case. Let's check in over on that other side, though, and see how Demu's doing. It does look like he will be going for the stone. So naturally... Well, now this is interesting. You see 3 vills on gold and 5 on stone. If I'm scouting this, I'm a little bit confused, because normally 3 vills on gold says to me, hey, I'm going to be playing feudal age, and I need to get some upgrades. Whereas 5 vills on stone says, hey, I'm going to get town centers. So I don't know exactly what Demu's doing at the moment, but we do see the upgrades are starting to come through. Double broadaxe and wheelbarrow coming through for him. On the other side of the map, we have Barbican being rushed up here. I gotta be honest, Unicorn, I'm not really a fan of putting so many villagers on these landmarks, it's you do get diminishing returns from them. So one villager will build at 100%, whereas 4 villagers will build at 50% each. And you can do the maths there. 50, 50, 50, 50 equals 200. So you're building twice as fast with double as, or not double, but 4 times as many villagers. So it's not a very smart move, and obviously it gets worse the more that you add to it. So you ideally want to try and keep that number as low as possible, as reasonably as you can. But we do see that second TC is going to be coming online for Unicorn as well. So both players going to be moving into 2 TCs here. As we can see, the demo is indeed saving up plenty of money in the bank account for that second TC. My question is, okay, because this is normally one of the things that I do whenever I'm playing this matchup. So one of the things I encourage people all the time whenever I'm coaching over on Patreon, the Chinese or the Juicy Legacy, look to try and get your Song Dynasty up, look to get your second TC out, and then immediately go into Zhuge straight away. Even if your opponent looks like they're not going to be making units, just do it, because you'll be surprised how much value you can get from them. If you can throw down a second TC, archery range, straight into Zhuge, rally it towards that gold, you can get some real big damage in on the front there. So we'll have to wait and see whether Unicorn is going to be looking to do that. We're right on board with him right now as he's looking to play a little bit on the defensive here, as the scout does actually get taken out. And that's a pretty big loss here to lose the scout this early. You might not think it's a big deal, but let me explain, okay? Demo, he can make a new scout from the town center, but if he does that, he is wasting not only a villager, but a villager and a quarter, because it's 25 seconds versus 20 seconds. So it's basically like losing a villager and a quarter of a villager right there if you want to remake. And if you don't want to remake, that's fine. You're going to need to wait for your stable. And it just means that you're going to be losing information. And in the meantime, I mean, what is Demu losing information out about? Not really a whole lot, right? Like, he scouted the stone. He knew the second TC was coming. So it's not a huge deal right here. And he kind of knows what the Chinese are going to do. Like, to be honest, it's rare that Chinese players do what I do, where we go for early Zhuge. It's much more likely that Unicorn is just going to be going straight to Castle Age here. And I'd be curious to see how many upgrades he looks to pick up. Because it's one of those things where you do delay your Castle Age if you do pick up upgrades like Wheelbarrowing, we can see right now, but it does pay off, especially if your opponent's going for 2 TC as well. It's one of those things that just, yeah, it's a guarantee to pay off. Another thing to remember is that as we move towards Castle Age, relics are going to be very important for both of these players, and the fight will largely be around that. But have a look at this. Demo actually going to be making a bit of a pit stop here. Not only making that second town center, but is also going to be dropping the 2 military schools, which is going to delay that age up. Now, speaking of age up, Vizier points, where are they at? Let's have a quick check and see what we've got here. It looks like it's going to be Anatolian Hills that he has opted for. So without a shadow of a doubt, we've got that. I don't have to go searching for imams. We don't have to go questioning about metas. Speaking of meta, have a look at that. The stable going to be coming down right now as well. This is a lot of resources to be thrown into this. Meanwhile, behind this, Unicorn is going to be looking to push those upgrades all the way through. He's only got the 1 villager on gold. He's actually rallying out and does have villagers throwing down that outpost. So wants to make sure he does keep it up. And we've also got walls beginning to come down over on this south side as well. I'm loving this position. This is really good. He's got a lot of resources behind this. He's got the berries. He's got the boar. Deer in the front of the base. This is actually quite exposed, but still pretty safe. And I think this is something that you could leave a little bit longer. To be honest, the majority of this food is, it's pretty damn safe. This is a great little spot that Unicorn's got down here. Rax is now going to come up as well. He's got the scout out. Remember that. He has got the information about what Demu wants to do. Now, if we make it to late game in this game, who wins? Is it the Ottomans with their great bombards, or is it the Chinese with their clock tower? Because I've got a sneaky suspicion it's probably the Ottomans. But I want you to hear me out, because I don't actually know what the numbers are yet. So, I know that a Great Bombard will one-shot a Springald. But I don't know whether it's going to one-shot a Clock Tower Springald. I suspect it probably won't. And if that's the case, then that gives a pretty good advantage to the Chinese in Imperial Age, because it means that your Springalds have the ability to survive a single Great Bombard shot. Because what happens? When you're playing as the Ottomans, what you're going to do is you're just going to issue a control group to each one of your bombards. So you might have 5 bombards, and it'll be Control 0, Control 9, Control 8, Control 7, and Control 6. And what you'll do in a fight is you'll pull up, you won't attack, move, or anything like that. You'll just right-click towards the enemy, and then you'll just go 6, and right-click a Springald. 7, right-click a Springald. 8, right-click a Springald. You do it like that, and then that way you come into the fight, and you roll up, and you just kill all of the Springalds, and then, you know, casters like me go, oh my god, he just killed them all! It's actually not that tricky, but it does look good. Speaking of looking good, though, have a look at this. We have got ourselves a little bit of a clock tower beginning to come up here. How you doing, Mr. Unicorn? Looks like he is doing absolutely fine. Age up timing is not too bad, actually, considering that he's gone for all of these upgrades as well. Let's take a look and see. He has picked up the Imperial Examinations. All of the Tier 1 upgrades are through. Has he picked up no Forestry just yet? Losing out on this gold vein, but remember, it's not a big deal. He's got access to gold on the south side, and I think this is part of the reason why it's so nice getting these walls up, because it does guarantee that you've got those safe gold veins to be gathering from. Now, Demu's going to be looking for Castle Age as well. And slowly and steadily, that villager lead is going to climb in favor of Unicorn, just because, remember, the Song Dynasty is in play. Song Dynasty going to be reducing the amount of time it takes to train villagers. But have a look at this. A lot of units starting to come out for Demu. We'll ride on board with him for a bit and see exactly how he's doing. There's plenty of stuff over here. We can always, while we're looking at the base, we can always bring up picture-in-picture. Have a look at that. You can see the action down there. I feel like I probably need to zoom that in a little bit more, though. It's in a good spot, but I think we just need a little bit more zoom on it. But look, to be honest, we can just zoom this way. You know, Drongo, you can just do it the old-fashioned way. All right, so where does Unicorn go from here? It looks like, all right, we've got our answer. It's going to be Palace Guards, a whole lot of Palace Guards here. No real surprise. One of the key timings to look out for, especially when you're playing the Chinese, is their Imperial Age timing. So normally in this situation here, the Chinese, they don't really want to take too many fights. Ideally, they want to just stay alive and then get to Imperial before their opponent, or not before their opponent, but just quite early in the game, maybe, you know, 18, 19 minutes, and then look to mass upgrade Palace Guards. Elite Army Tactics, Battle Hardened, which is the unique upgrade for the Palace Guard, giving them an extra little bit of health, which stacks with Elite Army Tactics, and then the Elite Upgrade as well. That's different. Remember, from Elite Army Tactics, you've got Elite Upgrade, and then you've got Elite Army Tactics. Two different upgrades. So you try and stack them all on top of each other, and then you go for the strike. And, you know, you get Yuan Dynasty for the extra movement speed, and you just have a whole bunch of men-at-arms that are running around as fast as horsemen, and it's not fun to deal with. But over on the other side of the map, the age up has come through now for Demu. Looks like it's going to be just a little bit over here. Sorry, I'm busy like looking on the mini map, and I'm like, you know what? We should just go over there. See, this is the thing where it's like, it's kind of hard. I got to work out where to be paying my attention to right now, because it's like Palace Guards are chasing the archers, and I'm trying to think, okay, maybe I should use these new tools, but I tell you what, it's not hard. It's not hard. It's not easy. Let's just say that. Let's say that. Have a look at that villager count, by the way. Village count really starting to build in favor of Unicorn. Not a whole lot of villages have been taken out this game, but still that Song Dynasty is really starting to push ahead in this game. Already up 15 villages. That is kind of wild. No relics picked up just yet, but we do see religious units in queue. Both players actually looking towards them. Meanwhile, over towards that east side, we can see the double monks going to be coming out here for Unicorn. Meanwhile, towards the base, Demu going to be running as fast as he can. Veterancy actually coming through for the archers. Interesting choice to go into archer veterancy. Normally, they're a bit of a throwaway unit at this stage now. You'll be looking to move into crossbows, which would make a bit more sense. We do start to see crossbows now starting to come out. He's looking to fight here on the front and realizing, you know what, I kind of need these resources. If I lose this is going to be tough. Demu is holding on for dear life. Palace Guards making their way through the base. It doesn't look like there's too many run-bys just yet. Meanwhile, down towards that south side, there are more attacks that are happening. All right. Looks like he's going to be forced back. Unicorn only picking up a handful of upgrades. We do see +1 everything coming through for him. But he's bought himself some decent space. Let's switch it over to income per minute. Get a bit of an idea of where these guys are at. I think the next thing for me is probably getting income, total income. I think is probably going to be the most important thing. I really want to see that. We've got a Vizier point coming through, though. Let's take a look and see which option is it going to be. Looks like he's gone all the way down that left-hand side. So not going to be stopping for Janissary Company, not going to be going for Advanced Academy, just going to be looking for that production speed. Of course, has gone into the military campus. We see 3 military schools out at the moment. 4th one now under siege, actually. Have a look at that. So we got ourselves a little bit of trouble in paradise. Meanwhile, down towards the south, the army numbers continue to build. We'll ride back on towards these Palace Guards. It looks like they're probably going to get cleaned up. This is a decent amount of units here for him. Sipahi as well have got their veterancy now in. And meanwhile, up towards that top side, the chase continues on. Palace Guard looking to run through. Not a lot of crossbows here, actually. How many crossbows are we looking at? None are actually in this group. Looks like he's left them all back home, which is going to be tough because the Palace Guards have now got their +1 upgrades through. It's going to make it quite difficult for him to actually kill out these units just with archers. Meanwhile, more attacks are happening around the clock. Have a look at this. We'll bring up picture in picture while we wait for it. But Sacred Site being taken over on that right-hand side, or rather left-hand side, and more Palace Guards going to be running through here. Yeah, there are Palace Guards that are really starting to surge all over this map. This is not looking good for Demu. I think walls are probably the biggest thing missing for him at the moment. He's got plenty of crossbows, should be able to deal with it. Mango's also going to provide a nice little bit of cover fire here. And it looks like they've all bugged out. This is perfect for Demu, exactly what he needs. You can see that they're really struggling to get away, or get their way around. Meanwhile, down towards this southern position, villagers just getting eaten alive. 10 workers actually taken out there. You can see them all on the ground as that cleanup has indeed happened back towards the main base. So slowly and steadily, Demu is dealing with this threat of the opponent. Now, the question is, how does Demu go about win conditions here? Like, where does Demu win this? Because at the moment, the villager count is not looking pretty. He's just lost 10 vills, and on top of that, his opponent's got Song Dynasty, which means they're pumping out villagers. So, does he win in the late game? Well, yeah, he can still potentially win in the late game. He's got military schools that are playing for him. He's also got the MIA, which is going to be putting on pressure. But I think his strength right now is quite literally right now. I think this is one of the best times in the game for him. He needs to be looking to go into Sipahi. One of the things I'd love to see from him is on that next Vizier point, looking to potentially go into Janissary Company. If he can do that, that would be incredible, because that will give him that extra little bit of bulk to maybe push his opponent out of the game completely. So we'll have to pay attention and see whether that's going to be the case or not. But look, it's normally not the case. We'll say that much. Normally you want to invest in things like siege crews, which are pretty important. Central Sacred Site now going to be picked up here by Demu. Going to be looking to slowly pick up a little bit more gold. One on the south has been taken, but here we go. Palace Guard numbers are starting to build. Let's check in, see how things are going. Crossbow numbers are quite high as well, but remember, we're starting to reach that critical point where crossbows start to lose their power, especially when the Nest of Bees are out. There's not going to be a real response here from Demu. Have a look at this. He's got no Springles at the moment, and we're going to enter into the cinematic mode. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, because we have got ourselves plenty of Sipahi breaking through. It looks like one of the Nest of Bees will go down. Second one also about to go down, but a third one has arrived. There was a third shooter. Nobody told him. The third shooter and the Palace Guards might have to fall back away from this. A couple of Janissaries on the front. Second Mangonel going to be rolling in here, but the numbers are looking good for Demu, and this is exactly what he needs to do in this situation, putting on the pressure. Mango looking to just work down a couple of farms over on that top side. We'll bring back in that UI and see exactly what is going on. All right, well, more units going to be streaming across the map. Second Mango joins in. Looks like it's going to be a siege. Oh my god, he's supervising the siege. The Nesta Bee defense is really coming through strong right now. He's got a second bee that's come out. Third one's going to be out as well. He's just rallying them to the backside. More Palace Guards, and the defense looks like it might actually be really solid here from Unicorn. I am really impressed with the fact that he's put the Siege Workshop down. A lot of Chinese players will be hesitant to put that down because they fall into the trap of every single Nest of Bee must come out of the Astronomical Clock Tower. But if you do that, you're not going to have enough. And we can see right now how good this defense is from Unicorn. Spamming out the bees. He's now up to 4 bees. Have a look at this. In fact, I take it back. He's up to 6 bees as they're slowly but steadily rallying out to the battle. There's the Janissaries. Did he move into Janissary Company? Indeed, he did. Was looking for a little bit of extra oomph, and that's where he's going to find it. My only fear is he might actually need some Springles to deal with all these bees. I came into this game thinking we're going to be dealing with you know, bombards that are just raging over the map, but call Jason Statham. The hive has awoken, ladies and gentlemen. It is not a pretty time to be an Ottoman player. We'll say that much. All right, well, it's been a tough little position here for Demu. I'll say that much. The defense has been really solid coming through from Unicorn. He's just been making 2 units, Palace Guards and Nest of Bees, and I'm going to be honest, it has been a really, really solid play from him. Let's do a bit of a check on the economy and see where these guys are actually at. So we're going to ride on board here. Let's do a little bit of a split screen. See how we're doing. We're looking back at the base here of Demu as well. Players at the moment, Demu sitting at about, what do we got here? 1,000, 1,700, 26. About 3,000 resources a minute coming through compared to Unicorn, who's sitting at quite a bit more than that. Looking at about 4,000, just a little bit shy of that, maybe 3,900. So not too bad coming through from him, especially considering the fact that he's managed to suffer a fair bit on that villager lead. It was looking quite formidable before, but Demu took out plenty of vills in that last fight. And as a result, he's looking healthier. When it comes to relics, though, remember that the Chinese player has managed to secure 4 out of the 5 relics, which is never going to feel good from the Ottoman perspective. We can see right now that there could be a potential heist on the cards. He's beginning to make his way down towards this southern position. Wololo going to come through. Oh, is he going to find something? Oh my lord. I was really worried for a second there. That did not look good. But fortunately, he managed to take it out at the last second. Numbers starting to build here. Have a look at this defense. There's a lot of siege behind this. He's got 8 Nest of Bees. And it is going to be a relic snipe. Demu taking out one of those relics. Saying, yoink, yoink, yoink. Don't mind if I do. Nest of Bees firing off. Hitting the Sipahi, taking out 2 or 3 Sipahi. There are so many Nest of Bees there. I'm sorry, but you have to respect that. You can't be pushing into that. And oh, he's dropped another relic out on the ground. Is he looking to give it to him? Please, I'm about to pick up my drink bottle. I'm hoping there's water inside. I don't think there is. Please, I need to survive. Oh, there's like 6 drops. I got 6 drops. I'm starting to feel it. Janissary numbers are looking good, though. Have a look at this. Have a look at this. But watch out. Watch out. Look at the siege that's building here. Demu now looking to push up towards all of the Nest of Bees. Not able to find too much success there, as not even a single bee went down. And I think this is the stage where Demu has to go back and say, okay, I'm going to put down 2 siege workshops, and I'm just going to make Springalds. And I think that's the right call to do. Alternatively, you could just go, I'm just going to put down 7 stables, and I'm just going to make Sipahi. Let's see what option he takes. I think it might be the stables. We see 3 stables that are up here. 4, okay, siege workshop, double siege workshop, and the blacksmith. So definitely the right call here from Demu to be moving into this. The Nest of Bees are incredible. And one of the big things to note here is that Unicorn has bought himself a lot of space with this. It also buys him a heap of time in the sense that he can now go to Imperial Age, and he can look to just go into Palace Guards and just flood with Palace Guards. We've talked about it earlier in the day. The fact that you can go into Imperial Age, look to pick up your triple upgrades, elite status, elite army tactics, and battle hardened, and then from there, you just flood the enemy. Keep in mind that Demu has no stone walls yet. Very well played here by Demu. Wonderful timing. He senses it. And you might be wondering, what does he sense? He senses Imperial is going to be on the cards very soon. So he needs to get stone walls up. You don't go for palisades. If you go for palisades, you're going to get them burned down. You go down, rather. But if you go for stone walls, the stone walls are not going to be burned down. Basically, with the stone walls, what that means is that your palace guards are going to have to, at the very least, build a battering ram, wait for the battering ram to get down the wall. And it's going to give you time to get in position to react. And then, you should hopefully be able to clean it up. But numbers looking pretty good here at the moment for Unicorn. It looks like he's kind of stalled out on that population number at the moment. Still making plenty of palace guards. Has he got villagers in queue? It does look like he has got villagers in queue. So he is still working towards it. But now a little bit of a raid coming in, or at least a raid attempt. We'll wait and see whether he's going to actually be moving towards it. Now keep in mind, behind this, Demu's got a pretty decent amount of units. We'll follow along with that raid, as it looks like Demu's actually gone into the wrong area. Hold your horses right there. Went backwards. Okay, seems to have sorted it out. We'll ride on board with him in the picture-in-picture just to keep an eye on exactly where he's at, because behind this, I want to check in with the economy. I want to see what he's doing. We've got those Nest of Bees shots going off. I don't know if you guys are watching the picture-in-picture. I'm trying my best to keep a breadth of it. I don't know if that's the right term, the right pronunciation, but there we go. All right, that wasn't too bad of the picture-in-picture. I could probably try that again. That wasn't too bad. Well, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with these palace guards. Now Nest of Bees teeing off. Plenty of Springles on the back, but not a whole lot, if I'm honest. There is a lot of siege coming out. Nest of Bees teeing off towards the center. Cinematic mode, where are you? It is time for us to get into it, as all of the Janissaries on the back are now firing off, and we can just see Mango, Mango, Mango. Meanwhile, behind it, look at the Janissaries as they have to fall back. There's not enough siege here to deal with the siege coming out from the Chinese player. It is just a flood of siege, and exactly what you would expect in this patch. Something that we've talked about throughout this last couple of months has been the prevalence of siege and just how strong they are, and I think today we are getting an absolute lesson in it. Demu, you got to be careful about where you position those units. Those Nest of Bees are hungry, my friend. And they are just looking for it. Jeez Louise, I'm a little bit worried about those knobs. They are going ham, man. They are eating breakfast today, that is for sure. All right, let's check in. How's everything going? It looks like a keep's going to be thrown up here. So Demu thought he was safe, thought he was protecting the gold from the stone wall, but Unicorn just throws down a little keep on the other side of the stone wall. Meanwhile, we got a push coming in. And have a look at this. Unicorn's not even going Imperial. And this is something I got to say I disagree with. Even though he's doing very well right now, it's not a percentage play. What's a percentage play? Percentage play is the layup. Percentage play is the high chance to succeed play. What's the percentage play right now? Just go Imperial. Just go Imperial, get your imp upgrades, and then just flood. But he's going for a bit of a flood at the moment, actually. He's going to be looking for it. And I think in lieu of going for stone walls, not to mention the fact that we probably have enough stone to go for stone walls if we really wanted to. You could go for palisade walls just to try and, you know, just to keep the rabbits out. Palace guards. That's an Australian joke. I don't know if you guys will get that. That's you Google it. Keeping the rabbits out. It's a whole. It's part of Australian law, and that's not LAW. It's LORE. But I mean, it's probably part of Australian law LAW as well. Now that I think about it. But anyway, that's it. All right, I'm going through my camera angles. I'm having a look at to see what units I've been able to pick up on the picture-in-picture. I'll be honest, not too much. All I've got, so I've got a couple of triggers that I use to try and get that camera to move around and do stuff. Because obviously I'm focusing here on this screen, and that's a whole nother computer that's over there. And so I've got like auto hotkey set up just to run it. But have a look at this. We got ourselves a little bit of a raid towards this top side. Things are worrisome. Meanwhile, down towards the south, we'll run the picture-in-picture so you can keep an eye on both of those. We got villagers running everywhere. Raids on the south, raids on the north side, and palace guards just coming from every single angle, looking to try and find a way through. Oh, this is not pretty right now. Demu struggling, but it looks like the cleanup is here. The cleanup crew has arrived. Have a look at the resources in the bank. Unicorn's thinking about it. He's still got a bit of population spare, but it's going to be the spirit way that he opts for. With the keep down on the south side, that gold has been nullified. Now, where is Demu getting gold from? He's getting gold from this position that has been focused here by his opponent. He's got 5k left in it, which I think is fine. On top of that, he's also got trade, but I think we're really seeing right now a pretty big mistake, and that's just the lack of walls, right? Like, with this much stone in the bank, I feel like it's one of those things where there's not really an excuse for it, other than maybe you could argue, like, you thought you could probably do... Oh, we are dangerous now. Oh, we're dangerous now. Look at those nest of bees firing off. This is not going to be pretty. This is not going to be pretty. Oh, this is not going to be pretty. Wow. Wow. They're fired over the gate. And now able to fire, clean out the imams as well. Imperial Age has come through. The gate's under pressure. Battering ram looking to come out as well for the Chinese player. And I tell you what, nest of bees behind a stone wall. It's not something you want to mess with. Not on a Tuesday night. Well, to be honest, I think it's a Thursday night. Yeah, for me, it's bin night. That's a Thursday night. So, yeah, it's probably the case. Let's check in with the Vizier points. Let's see exactly where did Demu go for. So it looks like he's actually gone into field work of all things for that 5th point. So not going into siege crews, which is what we normally see. And this is something that's a bit curious because we've seen the imams out. Now, you might be wondering what that actually does. In the Imperial Age, it gives a huge boost to your units. In the Castle Age, I think it works out to be about 3 health every second. So we should see some healing that's coming through on these units. Yeah, we can see it's quite big, and that's an AoE healing as well. Keep that in mind. And as Imperial Age comes online, that is going to get even stronger. But remember, only one imam can apply that. It can't be stacked up, so you can't have super crazy healing. But obviously you can have lots of imams so that you've always got that aura on you. And I don't think you need to be out of combat for it either, which is pretty cool. Upgrades have now started to come through. Looks like we've got the battering upgrade or battering ram upgrade. Have a look at this though. We've got battle hardened that has come through for the palace guards. No elite upgrade just yet for them. Elite army tactics is coming through, but this is a pretty big mistake that's coming out right now from Unicorn. Normally you'd expect to see the elite upgrade as one of the biggest focus for these players, but not today. And now Sapai actually finding a really good flank here. Demu going to be celebrating this position. Have a look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Cleans up about, how many nest of bees was that? 8 nest of bees? With only maybe 10 to 12 Sipahi? Really, really nicely done right there by Demu, and that brings him way back into this game. And that's exactly it when it comes to Age of Empires 4. I mean, you're not out of it until the fat lady sings, and she's not singing yet. That is definitely not the case. Demu is 100% still in this game, despite how much Unicorn was looking like he was having a fun game earlier. I think for me, the big question is going to be about gold for Demu, because over on the other side of the map, Unicorn's got a number of things going for him. Number one, he's got relics. He's got 3-2 relics, which is nice. He hasn't thrown them in pagodas just yet, even though he's thinking about it. You can see he's thrown down all 3 pagodas. But he's got access to gold veins. So he's got 1, 2, and this one down here. So he's still got plenty of gold. And if we compare that over to Demu's side, there's really not that much gold. There's gold that's contested right now. Oh, we got ourselves a little bit of a problem, and that's a great bombard that's going to go down here. Unicorn picking up a freebie. Definitely will be quite happy with that one. Elite Palace Guard's finally going to be coming through. The man is only making 1 unit. He's making only 1 unit. Palace Guards, I mean, technically Nesta Bees is also a unit, but we got ourselves a little bit of a raid coming through. In fact, there are raids going down everywhere on this map right now. Meanwhile, towards that top side, have a look at this. We have got plenty of Palace Guards just coming through. They're looking to focus those really important points. And of course, that most important point is going to be gold. Unfortunately for Demu, gold is starting to run out, so he might have to start thinking about trade, which could have been another option for him when it comes to Vizier points, is potentially moving into trade bags, but definitely not going to be the case here, as he's only got those 5 points and he's used up all 5 of them now. That's the consequence for going for 2 of the tier 1s, and also for Janissary companies. You're going to miss out on something that is pretty good. And have a look at this, getting split from multiple sides now. He's doing a decent job of cleaning it up, though, and Sipahi are now upgraded. Elite status has come through for him. Triple Mangonel on the front as well. Springald numbers are pretty decent. Should be able to deal with any potential siege threat. But the question is going to be about how much siege actually comes out from his opponent, because at the moment, it just seems to be being battering rams that are getting made. A lot of them streaming in from the south side. Not a lot of Nesta Bees on. I think this is quite a smart pivot coming through from Unicorn. Now, upgrades are starting to come online. In fact, he's got every single upgrade relevant to these Palace Guards. He's got, actually, and he's in Yuan Dynasty as well. These are the best Palace Guards in the game. I mean, technically, arguably, you could go for the Ming Dynasty ones, which are technically slightly stronger, but I think most people prioritize going for speed. What do we got? We got nothing right there. I'm looking to try and grab something for us. There you go. There you go. Have some of that in your picture-in-picture. A little bit of a raid just to the north. Another bombard. Another bombard. Another great bombard going to go down. He's got the upgrade for the extra health as well. It's not going to matter. That's going to be 2 bombards that go down here. And Demu really struggling to keep that head above water. And I can't help but feel like walls could have solved these problems. Now, at a point, there's battering rams that just really look to try and steamroll over the top. But, oh. All right. We could have ourselves a little bit of fun right now. Let's do it, baby. Villagers trying their best. The keep will not go up, though. It's going to get cancelled. I think he probably could have gotten away with it. I don't think that keep was destined to die. But with the Great Bombard on the way through, it looks like Demu, he's destined for glory. At least that's what he's trying to achieve here. Meanwhile, across the map, there are just infinite amounts of action that's going off right now. We gotta find out what's going on right here. We gotta take a look. I'm trying to work it. It's tough. I think okay. I got some ideas. Demu attempting a push. In fact, could we even do it? I think we can do it. Let's bring it in. We got multiple. I'm just gonna focus on the one screen. I'm sorry. I'm still testing. Let's get that picture up right now. Let's see if I can redirect. Where are we? Have I found anything? Nothing at all. I'm sure. So you can see the picture flying around. That's me scanning my different points, looking for something to potentially show you guys. Unfortunately, I don't find too much there. Palace Guard numbers are picking up reinforcements on the way through. Looks like he's going to go for a huge surround here. Have a look at the size of this one. Coming in from every single angle. The top, the bottom, the left, the right, the inside, the out, the upside, the down. It is every single way. That's how the Palace Guards do it today. Absolutely crushing this siege push coming through from his opponent. Look at the Palace Guards. Hey, can we talk about Palace Guards for a second? He made only palace cards, dude, and he absolutely crushed. Anyway, go check out Demu. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can watch him live over on Twitch. Go say good day from me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Dude, wow, those palace cards are crazy.